I've been wanting to talk about something for quite a while now, and as uh, as the situation it just changed so fast, and it is still a developing situation. So I wanted to wait and see how things unfold. And unfortunately, they did not unfold in a positive way. I'm talking about the situation with Gaza and Israel right now. Before I share my opinion about what's been happening, um, I know that maybe my opinion as someone who's not as influential, who's not that one known, may not matter a lot. But the purpose of sharing my opinion is to find like minded people out there who might be thinking the same way that I'm thinking about this whole situation, uh, which provides a little bit of a sanity or affirmation that all right, that I'm not the only one who's thinks like that. There's more people like that out there, and or even if you have a different opinion, I am open to that as well. I'm open to change my point of view if that's convincing enough, based on logic, based on common sense, or based on facts. In many situations, there's no right or wrong. If a person likes blue and the other person likes red, both can be correct, both can be right. But I do believe that in this situation, there is a right and wrong. Sadly, I would say most of the debate happening on the internet or TV is whose fault is this? Uh, People, go back to the attack by Hamas on Israel, that hey, it's their fault, they attacked first. And then there are people who go even further backward and say, well, this happened because of several decades of brutal Israeli occupation and illegally making settlements and taking over land of another country. Or we can go even further backwards and just just becomes a chicken and egg kind of a situation where we're not able to figure out whose fault it is. Oh, well, I would not want to get into that debate at whose fault it is. I would like to stay to the present and what's happening right now. What's happening right now is I feel that a lot of people are not seeing things that way, the way I'm seeing it. Maybe they're biased, maybe I could be biased, but I'm trying to understand that who's gaining from this and who is at loss. If you think about Hamas, well, they did gain a lot from this. They gained recognition. Uh, their whatever their cause is, it got refreshed, and because of Israel's attack, they will definitely be able to recruit a lot more people and get a lot more funding. And on Israel's side, I would say that the person is one person who I believe has gained a lot, and a lot of you might not agree with me, but Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, has gained a lot. And if it wasn't already fishy, Netanyahu and his government used to fund Hamas at one time. I mean, they supported them at one time. So, Netanyahu, his government was not doing well anyways. He was in a lot of trouble, and there was a lot of protests going on with with the judicial reforms in Israel. So if you think about it, it's kind of a blessing in disguise for him, or I don't know. I don't want to accuse anything, but it does seem like that. Things are uh, on hold for him, which could have been really bad for him. And if you observe his attitude, he just does not want to talk about accountability. He does not want to talk about taking responsibility. He's like, let's just forget about that for now. Let's just forget about whose responsibility it is. Let's just focus on this war. He just keeps on pushing. Let's just focus on, what we're doing in Gaza right now, and we'll just talk about it later. Um, and who knows, his probably later no one would even remember why it all started, and people might forget, oh, Netanyahu, he kind of screwed up. He was not doing his job. He was busy growing his power. So these are the two people who gain from this, but the two um, kind of people who lost, who are still losing, are the Israeli and Palestinian people. eh, Both, I mean, two wrong does not make it right. If Israeli government's brutality on innocent, unarmed Palestinian people, that obviously it was wrong. But killing uh, Israeli innocent unarmed people does not make it right. It's just wrong both ways. And on one side, Israelis, most of them, they do not support Netanyahu. He's has faced a lot of difficulty in forming a government in Israel. On the other hand, well, people say that Palestinians voted for Hamas. Well, that happened in 2006. Palestinian people voted Hamas in 2006 as a liberal, as like a moderate kind of an organization which wants to work for the betterment of Palestine. But things really change from then. They're not the same anymore, and they there have not been any elections since then in Palestine. I mean, if there were any elections even before this attack happened, the Palestinian people would have definitely voted them out. So we cannot say that Palestinian people, they support Hamas. They don't. And how I'm seeing it, both Palestinian and Israeli people, uh, their rights have been hijacked, while the Palestinian people, their land has been occupied physically. For the people of Israel, if you think about it, they will never be able to have the peace of mind that they did for a while, before this attack, after their Iron Dome and before this attack. I don't think they will ever be able to have that peace of mind for at least a few decades. They will remember this, just like people remember 9/11. But I would say, in one way, the Israeli government and the military is worse than Hamas in one way. The kind of missiles and the weapons that Hamas has, they do not have the ability to have precision, to be precise that where the missiles should go and hit specific targets. They do not have that ability. They just throw in thousands of rockets, hoping that they land at right places, and if they don't, they land at civilian places. Oh well, that's bad. They also do it for our civilians, so their civilians should also, they also deserve to die. That's what they say. But on the other hand, Israel, they do have the ability and the technology to have a precision based attack. They can attack, they can destroy the exact building that they want to target. They have that technology, they have those weapons. So for Israel army, they cannot have an excuse of collateral damage. I'm sorry, but you cannot. If you are going to attack civilians and hospitals and just say, well, it's collateral damage, then why do you even have these weapons, these advanced weapons? Then you don't need these advanced weapons. No one needs to provide you these advanced weapons because you're not using it in the advanced way that it's supposed to be used. It's supposed to be precise, only target your enemy and terrorists, not civilians, not children, and not women. But they're doing that, and unfortunately they are doing in the name of Jewish people. There's I think that the very first step towards solving this problem is to clear our minds that this is not a Jew versus Muslim problem. It's not. It is a one state illegally occupying and taking over the land of another state problem. This is a state to state problem, right? And also, on the other hand, this other state should also accept, uh, you know, I would say, in the right to stay on that land. They should, because that was signed by almost the entire world. It's right or wrong. I don't know. I don't want to talk about that, but this is the reality right now. They're not going anywhere. The Palestinians are not going anywhere, and the only way that they can be peace over there is they both accept. And I know that if you just take a referendum or a voting, I am sure that both will vote for each other to just stay there in peace. You stay in your land and we stay in our land. Why? But I have little hope that that will happen, because there are people, as I said, who are gaining from this conflict, and they will keep gaining more and more from this conflict. Netanyahu will continue to be in power. He will just, I'm sure, keep saying, well, we're at war, so we cannot have elections, so I'm just going to just stay in power and be the prime minister. And on the other hand, Hamas will say, well, we're fighting for the freedom of Palestinians, so we're also going to stay here. So sadly, this is the situation right now, but I'm hoping that I'm able to gather more people, more like-minded people who think like that, and who want peace in this world. And I'm really open to if you have a different opinion. Thank you.